Well, hello students. Hope all is going well with you. Just want to kind of give you some exact directions for your final projects and your presentation, which is going to be basically, we're at 10 points. It is going to be in 2 parts. You're going to be graded 5 points for your paper, 5 points for your PowerPoint presentation, all that are going to be due on your exam day, December 14th at 11:30 a.m. Now, you're going to do this project essentially in 3 phases. Phase 1 is going to be starting November 2nd through November 15th. And during that time, you will be putting an outline together for your paper. Phase 2 is going to be to develop and write the paper based on the outline. Phase 3 is going to be from December 29th through December 7th, and that is going to be to put together your PowerPoints based on the paper that you are writing. Now, this is all very easy to do, and it's going to be no different, with the exception of the PowerPoints, than what you did when you made your first presentation, okay? This is going to be the same type of thing that you've done with your case studies to date and will do with this Harley case, the last one on Patagonia, and the third case. So let me kind of give you the overview of how you're going to do these 3 phases. When I am telling you to put the outline together, you're going to essentially come up with 6 slides. Now, if each team member does 1 slide and someone takes the lead and does the overview, that's fine. I don't care. But this is what I'm looking for, and this will help you develop your outline for the food company that you choose to write about. The first slide is going to be the overview. The second slide is going to be a SWOT analysis of the company. We've covered SWOT, and that has to do with strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of that organization. Now, once you do that SWOT, that will lead right into the third slide. The third slide is going to talk about your internal and external environments of the company. The fourth slide is going to be to decide what are the organization's new and emerging markets. The fifth slide is going to be talking about their competition and how they intend to work on their competition. Like, what is the value added? What are they going to provide that their competitors don't provide? The sixth slide is essentially going to be a summary taken from the summary of your paper, the overview of the whole company, a prospectus on how you see the company holistically. Now, if you follow that format, you should be fine with phases 1, 2, and 3. What I would suggest that you do is write the paper. Again, like I told you, don't reinvent the wheel. It's really nothing different than what you did with your case studies. So take phase one, for example. That's going from November 2nd through November 15th, okay? And that phase one is putting your whole outline together. This is where you guys are going to do your norming, your storming, and then you're going to do your, basically bring it all together. Once you do all your brainstorming and everything, which we call conforming, okay? Everyone kind of agrees on what they're going to do. The next step is going to be, very easily, it's going to be, how do we put it all together and reflect on what we've done? Okay, and that's where your summary comes in. So do the paper outline first. Do it all in phase one. That's the hardest part. Coming together, talking about the company. Once you agree on the company you're going to do, you pull it all together, you sit down, and you start talking about it. Okay? Then you decide who's going to do what. Now, very easily, just like you did with the case studies, you pull out your team commitment sheets. And each one on the team will be plugging in what they are going to do as their contribution. Very simple. Nothing difficult. Once you realize what each team member is going to do, then you start writing the paper, putting it all together. That turns into your entire paper. So I want the paper formatted correctly. And when you start writing the paper, you either want to do it in APA or MLA. I want at least 6 references for your paper. If each team commitment person, all right, what you're doing for your commitment, puts in 1 reference, you're going to have 4, 5, 6 references right there. The other thing is that when you start writing this paper, okay, you will notice that you're going to have to make flowing from one section to another pretty transparent, but it's all linked together. Don't make it harder than what it is. If you're doing a SWOT analysis after you do your overview and your outline, the strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats are going to be feeding into both your internal and external environments. New and emerging markets, like what are some of the new things that they can do? Well, that goes back to the company's strategic plan. So this is your opportunity to put your suggestions in of how you think the company can change, what it can do to be better, what markets are, what opportunities are available to the company. Look at all your YouTube videos that I gave you. Look at how companies innovate and become creative. Look at Apple. Look at Samsung. Look at any big company out there. And Microsoft. Figure out what it is that they do to be successful. Then finally, pull it all together. Now, I'm going to use this one video for both my classes, both my sections. So if you are in my 10 o'clock class, okay, your phase 1 should be between November 2nd and November 15th. And that is where you're doing your outline. I'm just repeating it just so we're clear. Phase 2, my 10 o'clock class, on Mondays and Wednesdays, You're going to work on that between November 15th and November 29th. That's actually getting everything in your outline, doing your team commitments, individual commitments, writing your paper. All right? You're going to have to get together, find study time to go off campus or out of class and do this stuff. Phase 3 is putting the PowerPoints together. Dudes, that's all piggybacking off of everything that you did in your paper. So all you have to do is use that paper as a guide and outline and make your PowerPoints out of it. So that should be done by December 7th for my 10 o'clock class on Wednesday. Then on December 14th at 11:30, everything is due. There are no extensions. Again, let me make that clear. There are no extensions on passing in your paper or presenting your PowerPoints that day. You guys have to pull it together because the registrar is going to want the grades in like as soon as you leave that room. That's the pressure on us as faculty because people are graduating. Some are getting done. Some are getting done in December, so we don't have the luxury of time to really get late assignments. So that's the only thing. You're getting this project way ahead of time. Again, you're doing this on some type of food company or food affiliated company. And then the idea is on the day of class, the finals, you can bring in a sample of that company if you can get it. If not, that's okay too. We'll all share in who can bring things in. The dress for your final, I'm not requiring that you wear shirts and ties or, formal dress or anything like that. But what I'm looking for is business casual. I don't want you coming in jeans and stuff. Let's look professional, as if we were making a professional presentation. Reflects on us as a class, and I'm proud of you guys. Now, the dates for my Friday class is the same with Phase 1, Phase 2, and Phase 3. Okay, you're going to do the same things, but your dates are going to be a little different. Your final is going to be 12/16, Friday, at 2:30 p.m. So, you're going to be starting your projects on November the 4th through the 18th for Phase 1. For Phase 2, you're going to be going from November 18th through December 2nd. For Phase 3, which is your PowerPoints, that is going to be due, or you're going to be working on that between December 2nd and December 9th. So again, just like with my 10 o'clock class, Section 1, you must have everything in on time. No extensions. You're going to pass in your papers, and you're going to have your PowerPoints completed, ready to present. So, guys, for my Section 5, my Mondays and Friday classes, you are doing everything the same way as I said for Section 1. Your outlines, your papers, and everything. Only your dates are a little bit different for the phases. Okay? Outside of that, guys, that is it for the final. Now, I will put an upload in each group for the finals. They will not be available for you to upload. You will be able to see the links, but they will not be available for you to upload until your particular date. So Section 1, you won't be able to upload till December 14th. Now, what are you uploading? I'm going to have one upload for your PowerPoints for each group and one upload for your papers. If you don't present both, you do not get partial credit. You don't get anything. So you need to have paper and PowerPoints. Let me make it clear. Okay? You have several weeks to finish it. I have given you all the phases. Feel free to ask questions in between. That's not a problem. But that is what the final is constituted of. Okay? Good luck with it.